This is the one accessory that you need as a hybrid shooter. But what the heck is this? Well, I'll tell you why it's important and why you need it in your bag. What's up guys, I'm Dre with another video. If you're new here, I post cinematic vlogs. I post discussion videos much like this one, talking about photography, videography, gear, etc., whatever. But if that's something that interests you, consider subscribing. But every time I'm out shooting, this is probably the one thing people are like either amazed about or they ask questions about and they're just like, oh this is dope. So this right here is the U-Rig Rapid Filter Adapter Ring. The main purpose of this is to quickly engage and disengage a filter. So I use a variable ND filter all the time. I shoot any time of the day when it's too sunny. You know, I put the filter on. I have a 2 to 5 stop. I put it on 5 stop whenever it's super bright out and I try to salvage whatever I can shooting. But this makes it easy to put it on, take it right off. Ideally, you'd want to shoot either early morning or later in the afternoon, which they call golden hour or blue hour. That's the best lighting. But if you're like me, sometimes you don't want to miss out on things. You kind of just want to shoot whenever you want to shoot. This is crucial. This allows you to keep that rule of thumb when shooting video where your shutter speed is double that of your frame rate. So when I'm shooting 4K 24, the shutter speed is 1/50. That lets in a lot of light, especially when you're outside during the day. Cool thing about this is it overlaps the edges, so there's no light leaks that come in through the lens. And then you have the ND filter here. So when it's really bright out, close it, your ND filter is there. You go indoors, open it up, boom. Now, this company actually has a number of filter sizes. The one I chose to go with is this one that's sort of like a step-up ring. So the filter size that I have on my lens is a 67. Outer filter here is an 82, so it goes from 67 to 82. I chose to go with this because I use a zoom lens. The company claims that there would be no vignetting on a prime lens as wide as 18 millimeters, and then for a zoom lens as wide as 30 millimeters. I have no problems whatsoever. This is really sturdy. As you can see, I'm not gonna pull it apart, but it feels really sturdy, right? It's just aluminum, but on the camera, I really trust this to really stay on there pretty good. So let me tell you and let me actually show you how this thing works. But for that, I'm gonna have to use the camera that I'm recording on. I'm gonna switch over to the GoPro. That is the only other camera I have. I don't know how it's gonna do in this light condition, but we're just gonna see. Here we go. There we go. Hopefully the quality is fine. I don't know. Anyway, here's my camera. It is the Sony a7 III along with the Tamron 28-75. It comes in 2 pieces. You put the hinge one up against the lens like this. And then this second piece, you twist on like that. Now, once you have this, you get your filter. This is my Peter McKinnon first edition variable ND filter. This is the 2 to 5 stop. And then this goes on top like that. There you go. So you're shooting, maybe you go indoors, open it up. Now you have a better exposure, go back outdoors, boom. And this also works for, you know, if you want to switch from video to photography to stills right away, you got that like that. Now, I have mine going to the side. Now, it's a personal preference, but I feel like this is probably the best way for me. For instance, I'll show you why. Some people like to do it up top, but for me, since I do video, sometimes I'll have the, you know, if I'm shooting handheld, sometimes I'll have the mic stationed like this. I put it up. Now, the audio is being blocked. And that's a no-no for me. I'll show you another reason why I do it to the side. Give me 1 second. All right, so here I have my gimbal setup. If you saw one of my earlier videos, I explain why I have this setup and why it's so good for me, and it probably would be good for you. Now we have this setup, it's balanced. I can go from here and open it up all the way, and it's still balanced. There's no, you know, weight issues, weight distribution. If I had it pointed down, I'm afraid it might hit this. Or if I do a low angle, I'm afraid that the filter might scratch the bottom. So I don't want to put it down there. Like I said before, this right here makes it very easy in different lighting situations, especially if you really don't plan your shoots, especially for run and gun shooting. I did a wedding once before where all the groomsmen were inside downstairs and the light wasn't good. It wasn't even getting a lot of sunlight. So I would have the filter off like this, shoot around, and then I'd go upstairs to where the bride was getting ready and her makeup. Again, they had a big window, so there was a lot of light. I didn't want it to be washed out and overexposed, so I had the filter go on just like that. Another time where this was very useful, if you saw one of my previous videos, I went to see the Nissan 400Z, the private viewing for that. If you look at that video, it starts out outdoors and then you go indoors and the car is there. I didn't need a filter there. Yes, there were lights, but it wasn't necessary. So when I was outside, I had the filter on. Inside, flipped it out, just like that. Lastly, if you've seen my cinematic vlogs, you'll know that I love to shoot, cinematic B-roll sequences, but also follow them up with stills. That makes it so easy for me to just go from here, and then if I wanted to disengage, and then take stills, right? So I love doing that in my videos. This just makes it so easy. Sometimes you just don't have that time to really screw on, screw off the filter to go from video to photo to indoor to outdoor. So now that you've seen how it kind of works and how I use it in different scenarios, let me just go ahead and switch back the cameras just so I know the quality is good, maybe. And now you know why I feel like that is the best accessory to have as a hybrid shooter. You're able to switch from indoor shooting to outdoor shooting to stills in pretty much any time of the day. It gives you the versatility to not just be confined to certain times of the day or certain places where it's not too bright. This just gives you the capability to shoot whenever you want, whenever you want. So let me know, how do you see yourself using this accessory? Do you see yourself using it at all? Do you even use ND filters? But for me, I can honestly say that this thing has become clutch in my various filming jobs that I've had. All right, that's the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and leave a comment. Do whatever you want to do, but whatever you do, do good. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.